All right, we are streaming live for SBDM meeting Leestown, June 8th, 2020, the actually last meeting of our 2019-2020 school year. So I'm Joe Gibson, head principal, and all those in attendance, if we could just go around and say your name, whoever wants to start.
Abby Clay, teacher representative.
Okay.
I'm Jamie Hufnagel. I'm teacher rep.
Ashley Holt, parent representative.
Okay. All right, and then Miss Latanya Meekins is also
guest.
as guest, and Brandon French here as guest, and oh, here comes Miss Wilder, so we'll give her a second to get logged in here.
Okay.
Hello, Miss Wilder.
Hello, how are you doing?
We are good, just getting ready to start. So Miss Ronette Wilder is joining us, and she is also a parent representative. So we do have quorum, so we'll call this meeting to order at 5:03. First item of business, I did send out all the documents, so if you want to look at our meeting minutes from May 11th, and then we would just need a motion to approve those meeting minutes.
I don't want to rush anybody, but I already read them. So this is Abby Clay. I'll make a motion to accept.
And I'll second.
Okay.
I read them too.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Okay. Any opposed? All right. Meeting minutes for May 11th have been approved, and then did send out the tonight's agenda. So we just need a motion to accept the agenda for June 8th.
I submit a motion to accept the agenda for June 8th.
I second. Abby Clay.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, so tonight's agenda has been accepted. Public comment, Mr. French?
No. Good.
No public comment. All right. Good news. Not a whole lot happening right now, but we have been able to do some of our Leestown traditions here at the end of the year that we weren't sure we would get to do. So I think we talked about the PCAs last time. The virtual PCAs went off really well and had a good response for that. 8th grade virtual promotion also was really, we did that on the May 27th, 1 o'clock, and I know we'll have a lot of views. I think Mr. French just told me that over 3,000 people have viewed the virtual promotion at this point.
Yeah, that combined with the PCA.
Yeah, that combined with the PCA. So that went well. We had our 8th grade parents come in, and they picked up certificates last week on Tuesday, and they were able to get a lot of their medals and then certificates. So we've had almost all the 8th graders at this point pick up their certificates and medals. So that went well. And Leestown Live, Mr. Wilson have worked to put together Leestown Live Flipgrid videos. And we just sent that out to parents at 4 o'clock today. Ms. Holt, Ms. Wilder, do you know if that came through your email? Have you got to see that yet?
It did.
Okay.
Yes, it came through.
Okay. So it's really nice to see our students get to participate in that. Leestown Live is something that we kind of do at the end of the year, kind of pull all of our clubs and arts programs together, and we really missed doing it this year, but I think it really turned out nice. So it's really neat to see some of the kiddos show off their talent. So And then we have, I'm going to go ahead and announce it tonight, even though we're still finalizing some plans, but for 2 years, we've been trying to get a greenhouse built for our ag science program. We were one of the first middle schools to have an ag science program, and we really have a very popular program now. Actually, over 30 of our 8th graders will be going on to attend Locust Trace. And a big part of that reason is our ag science program here at Leestown. And we have worked with Title I and district CTE and some other funds and building a greenhouse on site now. That'd be a very large project, but very big part of our program. So we hope to actually break ground here before the end of summer. We've identified a spot, and they're going to get started on it very, very soon. So big round of applause for our greenhouse. So hopefully in the next few months, we'll be dedicating the greenhouse whenever it gets built. But I know that'd be really good for our students. So that's some of the good news that we have going on. So anybody else have anything? Ms. Meekins, I see your hand raised.
I just want to clarify. So we were able to get the greenhouse with CTE money and a grant?
But there was CTE funds and also Title I funds for a portion of it. The greenhouse kit cost money, but then also there was a lot of money in the construction costs for the greenhouse.
Okay.
It's got to have running water, it's got to have electricity, so kind of a lot going into that. So
I just wanted the minutes to be correct.
that's right, I got you. So any questions about anything? All right, so be able to sell some geraniums so different flowers, I guess, at some point with our greenhouse. So moving on to budget business, basically it just sent out school activity funds ledger to everyone because Munis is frozen. It locked on April 30th, so the last report that you got in May for Munis, that hasn't changed. So when we have our first meeting of the next school year, then we will be able to to see the new budget in Munis. But so the only ledger report I have right now are school activity funds, and probably got a chance to look at those and just take any questions you have from school activity funds accounts right now. No questions?
Did you?
Okay,
I have a question. So, did you decide what you're going to do with the 8th grade money?
Well, don't have a lot of guidance yet on what we can do with that. So I guess we'll just have to roll that over right now, for their money for next year. It's supposed to be school activity funds, supposed to be spent on the kids currently, but I'm not sure. Some of it did help pay for our trophies and certificates that we sent out. So you could probably see the 8th grade that it's depleted somewhat from May's account, but there's going to be a large portion that's going to be carried forward. So it looks like about $3,000, over $3,000 that would go for 8th graders for next year. So, and anything else, Red Book, I haven't heard because there's some trips that didn't get to be taken. 6th grade trip, I think 6th grade was going to the zoo. Is that correct, Ms. Megan?
A Legends baseball game.
Yeah. So yeah, they didn't get to spend their money on that. So we got a lot of big accounts right now. So I'm just, I just feel like that right now we will be able to just fold that over into next year, but I haven't been told any other otherwise at this point. So I don't know if that answered your question or not, Ms. Wilder.
It did. I was just wondering how
Yeah,
how it worked.
we're not going to lose the money.
Okay.
It's just, it's sad that we didn't get to spend it on this year's students. So,
Okay.
all right. All right, staffing update. Since we last met, we have filled 2 positions. We had a math position that had opened up in the 8th grade. But we were able to, well, actually, we had 2 math positions. We had a pre-engineering math position that had opened up, and we had hired Megan Vogel for that position. So she will be coming in to teach 7th and 8th grade math in our pre-engineering program. And then we had another 8th grade math position open up. We have, fortunate for Leestown, we have a few math teachers on staff. So we were able to move someone into that place. And basically the movement caused a social studies position to open up. And we've hired John Vieira for social studies. So many of you all were in on both of those interviews, and paperwork for both of those positions have gone through, and both of those people have been officially hired. So right now we are fully staffed, but we are entering what I call the second wave or the second phase. And this is the time that, other jobs opportunities become available for people. So there may be something that we have an opening here in the next week or so in something. And then it may not happen. So just kind of want to let everybody know this is kind of the second wave of hiring. And then the third wave again would be once the school year starts and you get all your enrollment verified, and maybe there's an extra position that you get from that. So anything that happens, I'll let you know. We'll form interview committees and but I think we've been very fortunate in getting very qualified people hired in at this point. And the 3 people that we've hired: Don Vieira, social studies; Megan Vogel for math, and then last time we spoke about Kristen Howard for a special education position. So any questions about our new hires? All right. When we talked about staffing back in February, we had a couple positions that we'd kind of put on hold to see if we would be able to fund those positions. I wanted to see what my workbook, my staffing money looked like once everything had been kind of verified. So we do have some money that we on our staffing books that we have to spend. And we can only spend this for staffing. So it's about $20,000. And you by the end of September, I can't have anything. I have to balance my workbook has to balance. So one of the positions that we couldn't add back when we approved our staffing formula was a library assistant position. And I do feel like that was very beneficial to the school this year. I mean, it was a 0.5 person in the library, and that person was able to do a lot of things to help keep the library going. Even if Miss Edie had to be out, and she was able to step up and run a lot of those programs. So we can afford that position now. So I would like to be able to add that position back if we have this done by the end of this month, then we don't have to advertise for it or anything like that. We can just go ahead and add it back in on the workbook. So put out any discussion on that, and want to ask any questions about that, or? So if we feel like we're okay with that, then we would just need a motion to add the library position back, the library assistant position back.
Abby Clay, I make a motion to add the library assistant position back.
Okay.
Jamie Huffnagel, I second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so we can go ahead and add that, and that should balance our book out so that I'll be able to close that thing up at the end of September. So Moving on to new business, I did send the PD plan. Oh, actually, I've got Mr. Miller coming in. Sorry. Hello, Mr. Miller. Are you there, Mr. Miller? Mr. Miller? All right, well, he's still connecting, so we'll see that he's there in a second. So PD plan, so I sent that as well. Now, it's kind of hard to do a PD plan this year without knowing exactly what next year will look like. So we just tried to normally what I would do is we would take about half of the hours that teachers need to get, and we would plan PD around 12 of those hours. This year we didn't do that just because we're not sure exactly what the school year will bring next year. So we wanted to leave some options there for teachers to kind of seek out their own PD, especially when it comes to online learning. So basically, I've just taken 6 hours of the PD time, and we've invested for in Z-Space last year, and then we've kind of picked up 2 more Z-Space units this year, and we have to update that software with Z-Space. So, we feel like that that would be a good use of PD time. Again, maybe reserve 3 hours to kind of update what's new with Z-Space. And then we've talked a couple years about interdisciplinary planning, and we're still looking into different options about that. We do have some teachers kind of that are going to attend a webinar on, I think it's defined learning, and they offer a pretty neat platform for interdisciplinary learning. I did put a number there. They said the platform would be $4,000. That would cover all the teachers and all students in the school. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to invest in that at this point in time, but I did want to allocate some money in case there is a digital platform out there that we want to find to kind of help with this. So we're still exploring that option right now, but I have to have this plan turned in by the end of June. So that would be 6 hours of it, and then the rest we had for content or technology specific PD. So what questions you have about the PD plan?
What does Z-Space mean? What is that?
Z-Space is it's not artificial learning. Yeah, it's kind of augmented reality. It's the computer systems that we have. We have 6 of them right now, and we've added 2 more, so we'll have 8. And basically, we have a whole lab of these computers where different content areas can go in. There's software there, and basically, you put on these 3D goggles, and you're working. If you're working in science and you're looking at the heart, basically, or the brain, and you've got a 3D model of the brain in front of you that you can take pieces off and kind of dive down deep into really kind of seeing what's going on there. We've got it for all content areas. So, if you can find something for language arts and studies. So it's a really neat thing, and I think it really engages students, and they love going into the lab. I really think it really deepens the learning and across content areas. So we actually are the first Z-Space lab outside of Jefferson County. So, and we were able to purchase those materials last year through CTE funds. So basically, the school didn't have to pay for anything for the materials when we started the lab. Now, we did purchase 2 more units because 3 kids can work on a single unit at the same time. So we felt like 8 kind of gave us a little bit more options there. So
Okay, thanks.
anybody want to, Mr. Hoofnagel, I don't know if you guys had went into the Z Lab or Miss Clay or Mr. Miller. I think Mr. Miller's been in there.
Yeah, I've been in there. We took the kids in and did kind of parasites and how it interacted with body systems as a beginning to get some background for our kids for our metabolism and kind of systems unit. They really liked it. We had the 2 other units Mr. Gibbs was talking about would be really helpful. We were little. It took an extra day or 2 because we had to break the kids up even more than normally. To put like half the kids doing they actually had to make a parasite, and the other kids get to use the computers. So adding those additional machines will be very beneficial. But it's a great learning resource.
Yeah. I think when you came out there that day, Seth, you did say we need 2 more units. So I think it'll fit perfectly in there. So, but with that, Ms. Wilder, that, there's the technology updates because we have to update the software every year. So that's why we kind of reserve some professional learning for the Z space. And with the interdisciplinary, like the 4,000, I don't know if I have to spend anything on the end of this interdisciplinary learning, or if we even want to invest in any kind of platform for that. But we thought if we're going to do it, this would be the year to do it, especially if we may have to be extended online learning for a period of time. So, any other questions? All right, so if everybody's good with the PD plan, then we would just need a motion to accept it.
I'll motion to accept the PD plan as mentioned by Mr. Gibson.
I will second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that's our PD plan for now. All right, and I do think we have a fundraiser, correct, Ms. Meekins?
Why, yes, we do. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. Plan. And Ms. Wilder second. Okay, there's no field trip, no PD. There are fundraisers. The Leestown Band would like to sell Bumblebee cookies September 11th through the 25th, 2020, to raise money to purchase music, supplies, and help fund the and that would be the only fundraiser. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Motion to accept the fundraiser for the band for those dates.
Ashley Hope, I second the motion.
We'll see. Let's actually see what happens, but okay. And
are we kind of like pending that we're in normal school? I don't even know. How are they going to sell those if we're?
No, they can still do it. It'll be digital fundraising.
I was going to say via Zoom.
Yeah.
They'll just get family members on.
And they'll just like, okay, fine, all right, whatever. Orders for me.
I did tell him, that, that could be that they say that there's no fundraisers or anything like that. I know, believe me, there's a committee looking into everything for next year. So,
yeah.
Hey, and Miss Clay, they'll get to go to Kings Island. It'll be like a trip.
That's right.
Hopefully it'll be cheaper.
Yeah. All right. All in favor of that fundraiser?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. So the band fundraiser has passed. So again, short agenda. So short meeting tonight. We want to give Miss Clay a big round of applause for being on the council this year. I know.
Love you, Miss Clay.
She's a legend. She's a legend.
That's right. So
Congrats.
enjoyed working with you, Miss Clay, and everybody.
Yeah, I'll still be around, but it's somebody else's turn on council.
That's right. Yeah, we do that quite often. So, but everybody else, congratulations on your reelection, and joining us next year will be Mr. Fritsch, who's in the house.
Yeah. Who's going to run this with him on here?
Do what?
Who's going to run this?
Oh, well,
The Zoom meeting.
He'll just take a seat right here. I
Oh,
guess.
okay.
So congratulations, everyone. And, you know, I will send out, you already have the bylaws and the policy, so we won't have to do that again. But I know there's some things that we'll have to do for that first meeting. So all the training I've emailed out. So sign up for that. Remember, well, you guys are all experienced members, so you just have to have the 3 hours now.
I did July 9th.
July 9th.
Yeah, that's the one I did. There's one on July 9th.
Okay.
Just one? Because we had to do two.
Two.
Yeah, if you're
June 23rd and June 24th.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
That's
guys-
It's just 3 straight hours. So that's the one I picked.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, it's from
We
5
didn't
to
have
8.
that option, did we?
No, we didn't have that option.
No.
Yeah, we
Sorry.
didn't have that option.
And it's during the day.
Oh,
Boy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yay.
Well,
I
Mr.
think-
Fritsch, we have to do 6.
I think I'm doing the 25th. That's what I signed up for.
Yeah, I haven't signed up yet. So.
I was so excited. I just wanted to get to it as fast as I could.
Right. You're always one of the first ones done.
Except getting in tonight because I think my Chromebook officially, you've got PTSD from NTI or it died or something, but it just kept saying connecting. And I was like, and so then I got my second computer. I don't know.
Yeah, when I admitted you, that's all. It would just kind of roll around and said connected.
I was like, well, I really want to get in there because I figured it'd be over in 10 minutes. So
Yeah.
Well, there were 2 of you for a while, so we were really
Yeah.
worried.
yeah,
That was
That
going
is-
to be too much.
that's a scary proposition. I hear you.
Hey, Miss Wilder, I want it to be a fly on the wall when you ask your kids about Z-Space.
I will.
Because they've both been in there, I guarantee
Yeah,
it.
Yeah, they have. They've both been in there.
Michaela's been in there probably 2 or 3 times. She went for language arts and science and
Yeah.
I think another time. Well, health class was in there a lot too.
Mhm.
Well, she stayed up all last night since it was just us ladies home tonight. I mean, last night. So she stayed up. I'm like, look, I have to go to work. I can't stay up any longer. So now
That's
she's
fun.
in bed.
So what's her stay up late? Because, mine's 10 o'clock.
No,
Yeah.
hers was probably about 2 or 3 in the morning.
Oh, my gosh.
Gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Living it up.
Don't
I
say-
guess.
So, Mr. Gibson, our agenda items for July, I apologize.
It will be new council stuff. So, but
Okay.
you won't have to go into the bylaws as detailed as we have before. I'll give Brandon a tutorial on them before we start. So, but I'll send all necessary materials beforehand. I know there's some your duty under the law and some of those fun things that we have to sign. So,
All right. And Brandon can finally be on camera.
that's right.
Now I'm muted still.
So are we meeting still virtually?
Yep, we
In
still have to
July?
do that
Okay.
until they tell me otherwise. So,
Okay.
and something may change between now and then. I'm not sure. So, if it does, I'll let you know. All right.
Alrighty.
Need a motion to adjourn.
I
make the
motion to
motion
adjourn.
to adjourn.
I'll second.
I think that was the entire council.
Yeah.
I gave it to Clay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Who did
I
the
think-
second?
It's her parting going away gift.
Yeah.
So who do I give the second to? I apologize.
Hoofnagel.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Miss Clay, for serving.
Thank you, Miss Clay.
Yes, Miss Clay.
Welcome aboard, Brandon.
Y'all enjoy
Have
your
a great
summer.
week, you guys.
Bye.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Brandon, get on camera now. Practice.
Oh, there he is.
Hey, yeah. There he is.
Beauty is like,
Yes.
One of our bylaws is you can't have a beard. So just
Yeah, that beard is epic.
it's painful.
See ya.
That's